JohnHanlonReviews.com is the website, by the way. He's a contributor to Big Hollywood and the owner and operator of the site, JohnHanlonReviews.com, the appropriately named John Hanlon, joining us on 710 KURV. How you doing, John?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, welcome aboard. Zero Dark 30. What you think?
I thought it was great. This is the controversial movie about the fight to capture Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
It's controversial, firstly, because people thought that it was going to be an Obama tool before the election, and they pushed back the release. And now it's controversial because of some of the torture scenes. But if you go in there just wanting to hear an intelligent story about how we found bin Laden, it's based on a true story, but not everything in it is accurate. You should definitely go check it out.
Intense enough to keep you interested and munching on that popcorn, and it is a good adventure film.
Yes, it's more of an intelligence film than an action movie. There's not a lot of action until the end, but it's about the slow. It kind of works like a procedural about how they got the intelligence to finally find bin Laden.
Yeah, well, the American people, many of us were left wanting to see that picture of him, post-mortem. So at the end, when they get rid of this cockroach, is the audience going to be satisfied, when they pop this guy at the end? Or is that, they just kind of, we'll leave that to your imagination. How do they take care of that?
I think they'll be satisfied. It's only the very end of the movie, but I think they were very sensitive about not wanting to exploit his death. So they just show it like matter of fact, like this is what happened, this is how we found the house, this is how we went into the house, etc. But I think the American people will be satisfied by how it ends.
10-4.
John, Tim Sullivan here. Is it a Best Picture?
Of all the nominees, I think it is. I think it should be the Best Picture.
Really?
The issue is Catherine Bigelow, the director, who won a few years ago for The Hurt Locker, wasn't even nominated for Best Director.
Yeah. Do you think it was an intentional snub or just an oversight? And if it was a snub, why?
Why? Yeah.
Well, I've talked to some people about it. Some people think she was snubbed because a lot of people see the movie as supporting waterboarding. Honestly, I think it was just an oversight. I think people assumed, someone else is going to nominate Catherine Bigelow, so I'm going to nominate these other directors.
Oversight.
Wow, really?
Wow. Okay.
Like they took her for granted, so I think that's what happened.
Okay.
But I wish she was in it, and I wish she won Best Director.
Well, there were a lot of other. Ben Affleck wasn't nominated for director for Argo. Quentin Tarantino missed out for Django Unchained as well.
Okay, I guess you could make an argument they forgot on that one. How about Gangster Squad?
Mm-hmm.
Gangster Squad it's a fun gangster movie. It's about the
gangster in a squad.
It's about the bid to take down mobster Mickey Cohen in Los Angeles in 1949. Mickey Cohen is played by Sean Penn, who just chews all the scenery he can get his hands on. It's a fun movie. It's very cliched, so don't go in there expecting something new, but it's fun, it's quick, it's efficient. It's an enjoyable time at the movie.
Okay, 10-4, that's another one that's worth it.
Broken City. What do you know about that
Broken
one?
City, that doesn't come out until next week.
Okay.
The Haunted House was not given for review, but when you say Wayans Brothers and being a scary movie spoof, then it is what it is. If that's what you're in the mood for, then that's what you'll get, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not surprising that they didn't screen that.
Yeah. On DVD, anything good out there? Anything good on DVD this week?
Yeah, this week Frankenweenie comes out on DVD. This is the animated movie from director Tim Burton that is like an ode to Frankenstein. It's about a kid who loses his dog and he brings it back to life, and then with some disastrous consequences.
Yeah,
but it's a fun little movie. It's kind of morbid because it has to do with like death and bringing animals back to life. But I mean, it's a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
House at the End of the Street as well coming out this week. Horror stuff, right?
That's Jennifer Lawrence kind of slumming it. She's done a lot of great movies, and this is her in a horror movie about her and her mother moving to a local town, and then there's a story about this woman who several years ago killed her parents in town, and then horror tropes ensue. So it's nothing remarkable, nothing memorable at all.
Yeah, and the Sylvester Stallone-less Dread version of Dread, was that good?
No.
Okay, enough said on that one. We won't even bother red boxing on that one. It's a pleasure. We'll keep in touch, friend. That's from the website, JohnHanlonReviews.com. JohnHanlonReviews.com. A big thanks to John for stepping in for the Movie Mom this week. And, of course, Nell's website is MovieMom.com. It's 7:45, the Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News.